Righty, everybody. We got the cover. So if you haven't seen it yet, we'll talk about it right here. But they announced yesterday that it wasn't going to be a new cover athlete. It was going to be, well, they said they weren't going to have a new cover athlete. So that led to a little bit of speculation. I said on Twitter, hilariously, that I began talking about like these breadcrumbs and stuff like that. And this kind of fits what I'm what I was talking about. So we'll show it off, and then we'll talk about kind of like the invisible trail, if you will, that the devs sort of left in there. But if you haven't seen it yet, we'll watch it and go from there. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee here too. So.
What's next? Oh my goodness, what a shot by Aaron Judge. Game on. Return of the king, return of the king. Was gone for a while, now I'm back to claim my throne.
All right, so that is the cover athlete. It is Aaron Judge. It is a repeat offender, if you will, for the cover, and it sort of fits kind of what they announced yesterday. So this was a really quick turnaround. They kind of just said like, hey, it's not a new cover athlete and all that. So it led to a little bit of speculation. Now, here's the sort of interesting portion of it, and I'm not trying, and this is again partially why I've sort of given up on the whole like, hey, let's guess who the cover athlete is, because the situation's similar to this. And I'm not saying if you were playing the game that it was wrong or nothing. It's just a personal thing for me, because a lot of times I don't think colors coordinate a lot of stuff sometimes. And I think this is that sort of prime example of this, where it was orange and everyone's thinking Skubal or thinking Soto. And I made mention in a video that I talked about the missing pieces almost, because a lot of times they leave these kind of in-game clues if you kind of look between the lines a little bit here for it. So when it was coming to that, there wasn't like a missing piece, if you will, when it came to the whole Aaron Judge thing. So now, or the Juan Soto Skubal thing. So now, if we go into the game, we see this digital deluxe edition, standard edition, pre-orders February 3rd. Scan the code or sign up for Skyrim Report with the news. So this coincides with kind of what I was saying. I think I was a week early or a week late, but this coincides kind of with everything. My 2 cents, and it's been this way for years when coming to dealing with pre-orders. Don't pre-order now. Wait. You can pre-order the day before, a couple days before. It is on console, so if you are kind of like, I want to get it a little bit early, if you are in that camp, my suggestion is wait like two couple days before, then pre-download it so when it launches, you can be good to go. But don't get it now. See what happens. See how it plays out, because you might not want it. Again, for the most part, I generally say lean away from the pre-ordering, because, well, this isn't necessarily on Steam, but you can always get these editions at any point. You don't have to play like that first early weekend or anything. You can fully get the digital deluxe edition, get all the goodies later. You don't have to get it now and play early. You don't need to. Don't ever feel like you need to. If you want to wait for some content creators to talk about their early feelings of the game, hey, by all means, do it. Wait. Don't worry about it. None of the goodies are going to go away if you wait a little bit longer. Generally, you're not going to be extra behind. But I do want to check the game strictly because I want to. This is mainly kind of let's talk about this really quick. So this is sort of what I was talking about. How everything's hilariously today. There's the final Blizzard Captain drop, so there might be the Aaron Judge card here as well, probably. But I was talking about the two here, so the 3rd and the 6th. I kind of figured it would be around there for the last official stuff, but now it's out a little. Makes a little bit more sense. But now that everything's sort of set and go, so I want to briefly before we talk about what they're bringing to the game because I've seen it. It's really big, but I just want to bring this up really quickly because hilariously, they kind of did it again. So one of the things I mentioned early on was I talked about were the two sort of leading contenders missing cards that were really good. Scooball's finest card, pitch numbers aside here, pretty solid. And I said a couple times, I don't know, man, because they usually put out another card. If this is his finest, which is his best card, I don't see a whole lot of like flexibility here for it to be really that much better. Then when we looked at Juan Soto's finest card, it kind of was a similar thing of this card's really good. Could they give it the extra power to the left side? Sure, they absolutely could. But will they? Not necessarily. So it sort of fit that there was the crumbs were out there and we just hadn't found them yet. Now, argumentatively, you could say, well, the card, the postseason card here that he got, because remember, he got a postseason card, disgustingly good card here that was max power, and all of us, including myself, said this is the finest replacement. It is disgusting. There is nothing we can do from here, and I put it on the back burner. I myself didn't even think twice about it. However, I think looking back on it, him not getting a finest and then replacing this was sort of like the red herring, I think, in a way, because I didn't have a second thought about him not getting a finest because this thing existed. Now, granted, it's sort of a similar thing to like this Vlad, sort of almost, and then the other, where's he? Like the other Vlad, where it's just sort of like, oh, I wouldn't have had a second thought about it in hindsight, like this guy. It's just like never, it's not clicking, right? And I guess again, this sort of feels like looking back on it, kind of like, oh, maybe we should have looked on it. But again, I'm not trying to say like, oh, we were wrong in our thinking, but in terms of the underlying stuff, almost it my point aside, the point here I'm trying to make is a lot of times there are clues in the game. We have to sort of keep an eye out, and I think they did a good job of sort of hiding it because and even guys, creators and such, sort of saw it and was like, all right, nothing to think of, like didn't think too much about it. But nevertheless, let's take a look here at what is the stuff here for MLB The Show 2026. Run it back. Aaron Judge is your MLB The Show 26 cover athlete. You get a picture of him and his Team USA stuff. Reveal plus the latest 26. So there's the cover. We already saw this. So you're definitely, to be fair, I think this cover is really, really good. I really do like this cover. I like it a lot. I think it's a snazzy dazzy cover for it. I like the inclusion here of the whatever it is, the colleges and stuff. I think it's pretty snazzy dazzy. So all right, for the cover athlete, and just sort of talks about him, talks about his career and stuff. Another screenshot here, the video, the reveal. Official gameplay trailer drops next week on the 3rd, featuring everything new we have in store for 26, updates on features we know you love, plus a special surprise. I don't know what the surprise is, probably something new. Pre-orders, and then it launches. Early access begins March 13th. March 13th, I think, is a Friday. Snazzy. Fun fact, though, Easter's early this year, so it's going to be fun for your boy. The World Baseball Classic tournament returns to Diamond Dynasty. This year's cover athlete features Aaron Judge in his Team USA jersey. Stay tuned to learn more about what that means for DD in 26. So, again, similar to what it was, like, I think in 24, we'll have probably some stuff for it. I kind of, it won't feel the same because you won't have 99s after it, but you'll probably get some cool flashback stuff later on that'll be 99s, or they just say screw it. Who knows? talking about the shirts if you want to get the shirt from Homage. And it talks about staying in the know. So the biggest thing here is I would say that World Baseball Classic is back in Diamond Dynasty, and that early access begins March 13th. All right, so there's the cover athlete. Some of the information, again, they're dropping a trailer next week on the 3rd, so we'll get to see at least some gameplay. I wouldn't be holding my breath for anything. The surprise might be like a returning legend and stuff like that. But now the news has officially begun here from the show. So kick back, relax, it's going to start trickling out here pretty dang soon. So with all that being said, my name is Spectacles Gaming Television, and we'll see you guys all back in the next one.